Hello everybody, welcome back to an episode of Behind the Scenes. A little bit of behind the scenes, just kind of continuing on here in our series. I got about maybe one more episode to show. Maybe two more, depends on kind of what I'm looking to show. Then we'll have the grand finale of my setup tour, the remastered tour. So that'll be exciting to see. But today, a little bit of a shorter video. It's not like too crazy behind the scenes. Like I said, I do different things. Like there's different ways I edit and on here and whatnot. So this is specifically on my iPad. I edit a lot of videos on here, like gameplay videos. Some like more, if I record on my iPad, like using iMovie and Filmora, like I was saying. Particularly, I'm going to show behind the scenes of on how I edit gameplay, just like with any gameplay I have come out on the channel, or if it's just like background gameplay. It's the same process. So usually, what I'll do here, just going to get right into it. Usually, what I do here is I'll upload it from the Xbox app if it's on my Xbox, as you showed with PlayStation before. But if it's on my Xbox, if it's gameplay coming off my Xbox, which it usually is, I'll upload it to the Xbox app and I'll have it come out. So you guys already seen this gameplay. So I like to also, so the time I'm going to have these behind the scenes put out before, or after I should say, after the actual video comes out. So you guys have already seen this, this gameplay video, but, by the time this video is coming out. So that's usually how I have it set up, just to avoid some spoilers, to then download it straight to my photos. So here we have Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game. Actually, great game. I had a lot of fun time playing it, so I'm glad I made some gameplay on it. Very fun game. So, of course, if it's a longer video, it'll take a little bit longer. If it's a longer clip video, it'll take a little bit longer to download. So you see downloading the game clip, then I have another game clip. Most of the time, I only have one, especially if it's like gameplay. I only have one clip. It's just one take, so I don't have to do too much editing in iMovie. But for this specifically, it fell, and I kind of planned it out. It fell to have two clips, and then I do have to edit it a little bit more. So I'll show you how I edit on iMovie. Pretty basic editor. A lot of people use iMovie. I feel like it's a pretty basic editor for iPhone and whatnot and iPad. So I'm sure a lot of you guys do use iMovie, but I still wanna show my behind the scenes nonetheless, just how I get it off the Xbox app and everything. So yeah, for majority, this is how, like I was saying, this is how I get my gameplay. This is how I get my background gameplay and everything. I'll just edit it through here and whatnot, as compared to Filmora, where I'll more or less film more bigger videos. If I'm actually talking like this one, this specific the behind the scenes video, I'll also edit it in iMovie. It's kind of the same formula. It's more or less the same formula on how I edit. I have to edit the videos. So come out of the Xbox app here, go to iMovie. Here I have some leftovers. Then yeah, we're gonna pick our clips here. As you can see, you pick two separate clips. So I'll pick the first clip, second clip, and then vice versa. So we're gonna have this. So it does have sound. So of course, I don't really need to do too much modifications on the sound. If it were to be a gameplay video that I was playing in the background and not putting out like his actual content, I would just usually detach the audio here, but I'm not going to do that because I need the audio. But normally, if it were background gameplay, I would detach the audio just so it has no audio, obviously. So I have this a little bit, have it loaded up a little bit. And then just have then of course, there's some excess loading, just some extra stuff. So this stuff I'm all cutting out here, because this is stuff, you guys aren't interested in watching a loading screen. So I have, some of the loading screen, just to kind of, I really just have this extra just to kind of, for engagement, more or less. Like, it's not engagement bait, but I should say. It's more or less for engagement, and then a little bit more
Southern California.
Let's see here. Sorry, that kind of played over, but yeah, we have the loading screen here. Then, of course, we'll have the full sound.
Southern California is home to many of the major teams and manufacturers who compete in Monster Energy AMA Supercross. An
Really cool game, though. I really like the presentation and whatnot, so I thought it was cool to come on, put some gameplay on. A very nice game. Anyways, so as you can see, there might be some editing I have to do at the end here, a little bit at the end, just to cap it off. So it has the end, kind of some end stats and whatnot. Specifically, just going off this video. Of course, all little gameplay videos are different, but specifically for this one, it just depends on what I want to show. So at the very end here, of course, we have our final runtime, a little bit of a longer gameplay than usual. So it's a little bit special. It's a special game, so I figured I'd come out with it, and just in general. So, but then of course, we got save or export video, save video. Now, in this case, of course, I'm not uploading it today. It's Tuesday, as you guys can probably see, is the date there. But of course, when this video does come out, I will have it saved in my gallery. So, and then I'll show you how I like to set up the, thumbnail and whatnot. I'll show that as well. But yeah, so I'll have this video saved in my gallery for when I want it to come out this week. And that's really more or less the formula I have for most content. Sometimes I'll just record a bunch of content if I have time. Then I'll just store it up on whether it's my PlayStation clips or iPad clips, or even on my computer. I like to, if I can prep content ahead of time, which is also something I would recommend doing prepper content if you have specific days like I do. I know some days I suck at coming out on, but I've been doing good. I've been doing most of the days. I'm trying to come back with that. But anyways, more or less, I just try to prep my content when I can and store it all up, with clips and whatnot. And I also like to get some gameplay clips prepped too, in case I need those. I like to prep, so it's really all about prepping. So you prep some gameplay clips here and there using this method as well, and you kind of build up content just so you have some stuff saved up. So you have some stuff to come out with. So usually I like to save space on my iPad because I do need to export big videos. So usually what I'll do here is delete this project because it does take up space at the end of the day. And then, yeah, that's more or less it. So I do also like to reference the video game, of course, the Monster Energy Supercross. So what I'll do here is to get a thumbnail to get the video title. So I'll do Monster Energy Supercross. I'll go in Safari, of course, look it up. Whoops, I kind of messed that up. I kind of messed up that, I messed up that spelling, but whatever. It is what it is. I suck, I don't know, because I'm not really... It's a little bit tricky, it's close. Anyways, but of course we have the, because some of these I like to browse through. They're not all the best, like this, a little bit overlapped here, but I like to see some of these, scroll through the thumbnails a little bit, and this one's pretty good, so that's what I would recommend, is just kind of seeing your best thumbnail. So I got the saved photos, and I'll close these tabs out. And then that's pretty much it. So I'll go back to photos. Here I'll show, so of course we have our, well, when it loads in a second, of course we have our edited gameplay here, then the also rough draft gameplay, which I'll also delete too to save space because I don't really need it anymore. Now, in my case, I just like to save space, like I was saying, because I do export big videos, and it does take up space. Sometimes I'll have videos where it can't export, so I do like to make sure that I have space saved up for, if I don't need gameplay. Of course, we have all my past clips that I just took. But of course, we have the gameplay here, and then of course, I like to have it next to each other, so I know which is which, which gameplay it is. So I have this. Then of course, I'll come onto YouTube, go on the channel here. Then of course, yeah, it's my watch history. I don't know. I don't watch anything too interesting. Of course, I do have the behind the scenes. I just made this playlist, so the behind the scenes playlist is set up. Be sure to go check that out. At this time, it is definitely set up. So the first 2 parts are here. Then when this comes out, that'll also be added. So that's playlist definitely added. Then I go to videos here, upload, and then there we go. So when I'm ready to upload it, that's how I do it. More or less, that was it. Here, let me go to just to reference, just to have some background, but. Pretty much do it for this little behind the scenes video. I know it wasn't the longest. I'll have probably one more longer one, maybe 2 more. Depends on kind of how I show how I edit on my computer. That'll be a little bit more longer. iMovie is more or less the easier way I edit certain videos and gameplay and whatnot. It's more or less the quickest way I have to edit, amongst other things. But this one is the quickest way I edit stuff, kind of like gameplay and whatnot. So that's coming out. That's cool to come out with, and yeah, and I more or less edit this video the same way, probably through iMovie. I was just looking for an easier way, simpler way to edit. Filmora was also good, but I also like to use iMovie for maybe editing some bigger videos. It all depends. They all, they all have each to their own for both apps. So, but yeah, that'll pretty much do it. So I know, hopefully you guys enjoy the behind the scenes series so far. Hopefully you guys enjoy the. We'll have the big finale of my setup tour. I'm finishing up some stuff, so I think you guys will really enjoy it. That'll be the finale here. But hopefully it helped, if you guys are looking to become, hopefully the series, I'm doing it to help you guys out if you're looking to become content creators and whatnot, kind of beginners. Hopefully it helps simplify some things and see behind the scenes, or if you're just interested in general in how I do my videos. I think it's pretty cool, so I think it's a cool series. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Of course, leave a comment down below what you think of the videos and whatnot, if it's helping you out, or if you're just watching it for entertainment, whatever it is it may be. Feedback, all that good stuff. All that stuff's welcome in the comments, as always. Of course, be sure to subscribe for more content, like video, all stuff, Discord, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, links in the description. And yeah, check all that stuff out. I'll be updating daily. Well, probably not daily, but I update pretty frequently, especially over on Twitter and Instagram and whatnot. So maybe not daily, but I don't know. Who knows, whatever, kind of random, but yeah, with all that stuff being said, I will see you guys in the next video.